couldn't articulate why he supported Donald Trump. He just knew that he did. He's like, he just knew that he liked Donald Trump. Why do you support Donald Trump? Because he closed the border. How did he close the border? Don't ask me dumb questions. Was literally verbatim how the conversation went. What do you not agree with in regards to Donald Trump? I don't agree with what you all are doing out here. It's like that. Okay. But like with Donald Trump, like, what do you disagree with Donald Trump about? This is useless.
I think about this stuff all the time. Tanner, in the comments, you can come up here if Trump's living in our head rent free. You're welcome to come up. I was just saying though, like, I think about this, right? Like, I was debating on Saturday, and then like this guy's like, I'm gonna blow your mind. I don't think what Trump did with the Epstein files was right, like a MAGA person. And I was like, wow. Like, and then I was like sitting there after this thinking like, the bar is in hell. Like, yeah. You know what I mean? If a Trump supporter can correctly identify that Trump is a 3PDO, we're all like, gold star, dumbass. Like, thank you. Oh my God, his brain's working. Like, he identified a child trafficker.
It's not even that. It's like the bar is so fucking low that they're like, give me praise because I think he should release the Epstein files. It's like, okay, or I can continue to call you a dumbass because you are, because if that wasn't a thing, you would still be supporting Donald Trump. And let me be clear. They still support Donald Trump. They still support him. They haven't, their fealty to God King Trump has not wavered at all. They're all, if it was between Donald Trump, what they know today with the Epstein files, and literally anybody else, they would still vote for Donald Trump. They would still do it.
I agree.
Like, well, he's making deals. I'm like, no. He didn't make a deal. I want you all to recognize something. This EU deal that you all love to be like, look at him, art of the deal.
It's not real.
There was a 0% tariff on goods coming from the EU before that deal. And now there's a 15% tariff on goods coming from the EU after that deal, which means that our goods coming from the EU are going to cost 15% more because a tariff is a tax on imports. So we pay that tax, you absolute shit for brain morons.
Oh, and like they're like, yeah, remember Trump 90 deals in 2 days, in 90 deals in 90 days, and then it was, oh, like I have 200 deals, I just haven't, like I'm just about to put them out. Now it's, hey, like it's really hard. Did you guys know? This is what he said in Scotland, because I was like, here we go. And MAGA's too dumb to recognize any of this. But then yesterday in Scotland, he goes, did you guys know there's 200 countries? That's a lot, I know, but this is his, I'm quoting Trump. He goes, did you know, to a reporter who's like, yeah, like you said several times all these deals, because no, when right before he flew to Scotland to try to distract MAGA again, he said that he had this great deal with Japan, and Japan's like, there is no deal. We have agreed to nothing. We have no idea what Orange Grandpa is talking about. We're about to dump all the U.S. bonds we hold and drive you all into a recession. Thank you very much. Right. Like that is like, they're like, old Orange Grandpa is talking again and no one understands what he's saying. And then he shows up again. And he's yelling at windmills, and the president of the European Union is just staring daggers at him while he's like, wind is the most expensive energy. Actually, that is factually untrue. Like, let me help you, Orange Grandpa. Just because you were born in 1892, where, you know, And again, I'm super excited for people in the South who want to get their kids back into the coal mines. I do think it'll be great for them. They'll crawl on in there with their tiny kid hands and they'll just scratch at that coal and bring it back up. Get them down. Get your kids in the South back in the coal mines. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me personally. I would put them in preschool because, as we know through statistical analysis, kids that don't attend pre-K make hundreds of thousands of dollars less in their lifetime. So woke. I would put my kids in school. Yeah, super woke. I'm sorry.
Super woke.
So I shouldn't. I know, but yes, get those little kids in the South in those coal mines scratching at that coal. They'll be fine down there. I think it's great for the South that they're doing that. But he's screaming at the European president of the European Union. And she's glaring at him, but here's the thing: she's a woman, right? Ursula von der Leyen, or whatever Dutch. I shouldn't do it, but I remember that Austin Powers quote. There are two types of people:
those who are critical of other people's cultures, and the Dutch.
Exactly. Every time I see like a Bond or something name, all I can hear is Austin Powers. There's two type of people I hate: those who are like intolerant of other people's cultures, and the Dutch. But that's and she's glaring at him, and I want everyone to notice this. Notice the difference between Trump when he's sitting next to a man. So then the next day he's sitting next to Keir Starmer, who's the in charge of the UK or whatever, and he's like, Trump's going on again about windmills. And if you don't understand Trump's hate of windmills, it's because at Turnberry, his course in Scotland, there are windmills that he feels block his view, and he thinks they're oppressive and wrong. So he's going on this thing like, wind is the most expensive, disgusting, wrong type of energy. And Keir Starmer, like, bless him, he tried. He's like, hey, little fella. Like, he was like, hey, like, you know, here in the EU, we believe that in different places, like, different types of energy should be generated. We have a faceted approach to energy, which I was trying to explain to people. Like, right now, I'm in Phoenix, born and raised. The sun is it's 118 degrees today. Like, we have solar panels everywhere, and we are collecting cheap energy from the sun. I lived in Sioux Falls, South Dakota for a year. I had never experienced the northern jet stream. I didn't know, like in Phoenix, they call it the Valley of the Sun because it's surrounded by huge mountains. You can't look and not see mountains that are blocking wind. There's no point in setting up a windmill in Phoenix. There's no wind. There are mountains. But in the northern jet stream, I get it. Cheap wind energy, like, is amazing. And however we collect energy, that's what we need, a comprehensive energy strategy. And Trump's like, I hate windmills because they're blocking the ninth hole at me seeing the sea. It's like, this man is insane.
Yes. Yep. No, and listen, and all of this just goes back to his supporters, the people that are still running around with their red hats on and their let's go Brandon signs and flags, and their, Donald Trump riding a velociraptor looking like a ripped John Rambo t-shirts. Like, all of these people don't know how anything works. They're surprised every time they flush a toilet. So they're like, I don't understand this at all.
But imagine,
magic.
Like, think of witchcraft, Calvin, who said
witchcraft.
But think like of Calvin, who came up here at the beginning, and he was questioning your mental health. Do you know what I mean? These people believe Trump is riding dinosaurs. They're like, this is exactly what he looks like in my mind. His brain is firing on all cylinders, and they're questioning our mental health. We're depressed because you guys are so stupid that we are terrified watching you guys be so dumb. That's what's happening. It's affecting honestly, our mental health.
Yeah, the thing that's terrifying me the most is just how dumb his most ardent supporters are at this point in the game. Like, at this point, the absolute just lack of critical thinking, not even critical thinking, just thinking skills in general. The sheer just lack
Not ready for critical. Don't bring up the word critical.
Critical is way too advanced. Just thinking in general. Just, I have a thought, and those words have never been, I think that has never been the start of a phrase for any of them. It's always Donald Trump said this, because they can't think on their, it's Donald Trump says this. This is what Donald Trump says. It's never, I think this is what's happening, because you don't think. You don't think.
Which philosopher was, that's very, I don't even think, that's a very interesting thing to say. Like, I love philosophy, and it's like, which philosopher was it? Was it Plato that said, I think, therefore I am?
Therefore I am.
And like, the most fascinating thing about MAGA is it's like, Donald Trump said, therefore I believe. And that's like, when we move to this new reality where was it Descartes? Descartes. That's Descartes. Oh God, the French want to punch you in the face, Matt. Descartes.
I don't care.
I love being abused by the French. Stop hating the French. I love how angry French people are. It's the same as New Yorkers, just a little different. Like
if it gets the French riled up and gets them throwing manure on their parliament again, I'm gonna do what I need to do to draw inspiration. Listen, I am all about the French.
I traveled with 2 French girls in South America for a month, and then I pretended to have a Canadian passport, and then they saw my American passport, and they were like, "Get the away from us!" I swear, I'm not. You guys knew me for a month. They're like, "You're disgusting," and I was like, "Okay, bye."
Oh, yeah.
Being abused by French people, normalize it. It's great. But anyways, I have so many. Well, wait. I wanted to. Oh, I remember something I wanted to talk to you about.
Carmen, sorry, real quick. Oh, sorry. Carmen, send me a message because I would love to join with you all. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I love your ADHD outbursts. You make me feel normal. Like, do more of that. So when I do it, people aren't like, God, Felice can't finish a sentence and she's weird. Like, do more of the weird ADHD stuff so people can see that it's not just me. Thank you. Just start reading comments and yelling them in the middle of my sentences.
Yes, I will continue doing that.
Please do. But here's my thing. I want everyone to start noticing, because, I always say I'm probably high-functioning autistic. I see life in patterns. And this pattern of Trump floating ideas, right, into the MAGA sphere, which I call like this cottage industry. And because he doesn't know, like, are these people going to kill me? And that's what is happening with the Ghislaine Maxwell partner. I haven't thought about it at all, but I could, right? He's floating it out there.
I'm allowed to do that.
I could. I didn't think about it, but if I wanted to, I could. He's now said it 3 times because he's floating it out there to see, like, what will the backlash be? Will they leave me? Like, will I lose support? And also to normalize it, right? Get it in their heads. Well, he could, right? And he's done this with every other major, like the J6 part, right? He did this over and over. Notice that he does this. He'll just be like, well, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it.
Yep.
But I could.
I'm allowed to do it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's
how it always starts. That's always. Every time I hear him say, I haven't thought about it, but I could. I'm like, here we go.
Yep. It's happening. It's happening.
Apparently before... Which, by the way, I just want to reiterate, which I think people have figured out, but if you don't know, Todd Blanche, the man that went and had 2 secret meetings with Ghislaine Maxwell, and Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney is besties with Todd Blanche. The only person to ever appear twice on his podcast is Todd Blanche. Todd Blanche is Trump's defense attorney, second chair attorney in the Stormy Daniels trial, who, after Todd Blanche proved himself to be the most loyal, depraved soldier, Trump has now made the second in charge of the DOJ. He's the number 2 to Pam Bondi. He had 2 secret meetings with Ghislaine Maxwell and met up with his lawyer best friend, and they had already given her partial immunity. prior to her meeting. It's already happening.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
One of the most prolific child S traffickers of all time.
Yeah. Yep. And it is a just, and they're just going to roll over and take it too. They're just going to be like, this makes sense. This makes sense. That's what's going to happen.
And it went to SCOTUS. Someone said, Storm Rider said going to SCOTUS. Didn't it go? Like, what's happening is...
She just did, like, an appeal to the Supreme Court about her case, I think.
Yes. And I think I could find a clip, but I think, just to summarize, because I tried to read the court documents about it, is that they're saying in the state case, when Epstein, you know, the sweetheart deal, when Epstein was granted,
that he got?
Yeah, when he was granted, like, hey, if you say whatever you know, like, you'll never be prosecuted for they're saying, like, that was a blanket deal that applies to all co-conspirators.
Because that's what it said in the sweetheart deal that he got.
And if the Supreme, like, basically, just understand this. Conservatives, Republicans, MAGA, you control the judiciary system, you control the Supreme Court, you control Congress, you control the executive branch. However, you let off these child S traffickers, you are responsible for it all. It is your legacy, you creeps.
Yeah.
Just make 100%. Sure you swallow it all.
Yes. Ooh, that was cool.
I know. So pretty. Our ADHD pretty
I know,
colors.
I was like, oh,
thank
shit.
you.
Going wild on there.
That's why I love you.
Shift gears a little bit. Did you see Marjorie Taylor Greene called out Israel's genocide in Gaza?
I played the clip because that's my point. This person who was cheering on the G side of Gaza is now like, hey guys, I'm starting to think we shouldn't be giving any more weapons to...
No. She, like, this morning is the first Republican to come out and call it a genocide.
Well, like, I mean, too little, word. Too mother effing late, but welcome to the party, Margarine.
No, absolutely. But I'm just... Marjorie Taylor Greene has gone on the record that what Israel is doing in Gaza is a genocide.
And let me follow that line of logic, because it is hard for me. I often don't even talk about this stuff on the People's Receipts because the way my brain works, like, I get so angry that I cannot physically talk about this stuff. And I'm sorry, I don't remember who made the comment early on in the live, but I've started, like, last week, we had kind of an in-depth discussion on my live about it. And by in-depth discussion, I mean, people in the comments are saying things and I'm talking to myself. But Hakeem Jeffries, who in every other facet, right, met the guy in real life, his brain works, prolific litigator, like, amazing. But this man has received 1 point, I think almost, it's between 3 and 1.4 from AIPAC, and is pretending that a genocide is not happening. Meanwhile, on the far right, Marjorie Taylor Greene has woken up and is like, hey, I can't not say this anymore. So it just proves my point that the problem is in the middle, right? The problem is the money that's flowing into Congress. People are being paid. Richie Torres, right? He's in the district he's a Democrat in the district next to AOC in the Bronx. He's saying in every other issue, you start bringing up Israel, he's like, it's Hamas. Hamas is stealing the people's food. Like, can we... I just want to say out loud again, and I try to say this at least once a day, you are on the wrong side of this. You are cheering on people who are being starved and unalived in a G side, and history will remember you all poorly.
So let me just put this into context for everybody. So Marjorie Taylor Greene made this post this morning yesterday morning at 9:07 p.m. on Twitter. As a response to the New Republic reporting that AIPAC abruptly dropped Representative Randy Fine when he came out as pro-starving children, right? And so this is what she said. I'm going to read you the whole thing that she put out, this whole tweet. And keep what she says here in mind, that this is in response to AIPAC dropping Representative Randy Fine. So she says, I remember the first time I met Randy Fine when he was a candidate before he barely won Florida's deep red 6th district seat, as we were being told he might actually lose the seat because the strong Trump district couldn't relate to him and didn't like him. He was telling me that he and his wife were looking forward to moving to Washington, and he hadn't even won yet. I said to him that Washington isn't a good place to live, and he should live in the district he will represent. You know, that whole representative thing. But, which is hilarious because
she does not live in Rome, Georgia, right, and everyone knows it. But go on. Go off, Marjorie.
Because if you are elected to the House of Representatives, you have to maintain a home in Washington, D.C. and in your district.
Yes, but also, just to be clear, her home is not in in the 14th district of Georgia. Right. I just want everyone to know that.
Yes. Okay, she continues. But he was adamant that they did not want to live in the district. And I thought, no wonder that district doesn't want to elect him. I can only imagine how Florida's 6th district feels now that their representative that they were told to vote for openly calls for starving innocent people and children. It's the most truthful and easiest thing to say that October 7th in Israel was horrific and all hostages must be returned. But so is the genocide, humanitarian crisis, and starvation happening in Gaza. But a Jewish U.S. representative calling for the continued starvation of innocent people and children is disgraceful. His awful statement will actually cause more anti-Semitism.
Oh, I get it now. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
He's Jewish?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, you don't know that Marjorie Taylor Greene is an anti-Semite?
Oh, I know that. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I didn't know the guy was Jewish. Oh, never mind. That's what it is.
That's why I want to put this into context for everybody, because you're going to be seeing a lot of reporting coming out about Marjorie Taylor Greene being the first Republican to call what's happening in Gaza a genocide. But I want you to recognize that she ends this tweet with, but a Jewish U.S. representative calling for the continued starvation of innocent people and children is disgraceful. Okay?
Can I add on to that line of logic?
Yeah.
So if you remember, I think it was last year in the least successful Congress of all time until this one, the 118th Congress, there was a bill that they passed to stop quote unquote anti-Semitism, which was basically a violation of everyone's First Amendment rights, and basically you could not just point out there was a genocide going on anymore in America. Right. And Marjorie Taylor Greene voted against that bill along with a lot of progressive Democrats, but not for the reasons you think. Right. I still remember I played the clip of Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's like, because the definition of anti-Semitism in that bill it's the IDF, AIPAC, Netanyahu definition. And one of the bullet points is that you cannot claim that Jews unalive Jesus, which is, and she's like, nope, that's my line in the sand. I will be blaming the Jews for unaliving Jesus.
This is just another really, really important example of how you have to put everything into context, because I guarantee you are going to see a lot of creators coming out in the next few hours talking about how I can't believe I have to agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like, no, you don't. Because this isn't about preventing the continued starvation and genocide that's happening in Gaza. This is about her not being allowed to be as anti-Semitic as she wants to be. All right. That's what this is about. Right. So what she's seeing here is she's making the asinine correlation that, you can support what's going on against what's happening in Gaza and still be anti-Semitic, right? So that's where she's coming from, right? This is all about her
know.
using that to push her anti-Semitic. I know you know that. I'm saying for everybody that's watching this, be aware that this is what she's doing. This is her co-opting the genocide to further her anti-Semitism in the United States. That's what she's, because there is no reason to end your statement with, but a Jewish U.S. representative calling for the continued starvation of innocent people and children is disgraceful. His awful statement will actually cause more anti-Semitism. She didn't have to quantify it. She made the choice to point out that he is a Jewish U.S. representative, right? She made a conscious decision to make that distinction about Randy Fine, and it wasn't necessary to do that. So what you're going to see is now you've got a bunch of MAGA people that are following Marjorie Taylor Greene. They're going to be like, oh yeah, we knew it. The Jewish people are bad because look, this Jewish person here is now in support of starving children. That's what this is. This isn't about protecting Palestinians in Gaza. It's about furthering this division of Jewish people being less than, and the ridiculous anti-Semitic stereotypes that go along with Jewish people. So don't get it mixed up. Don't get confused. Marjorie Taylor Greene didn't wake up this morning and suddenly grow a conscience and morals. Okay. She didn't wake up this morning and be like, you know what? I think I've been wrong about everything forever. Let me shift gears and change direction right now. That's not what's happening. Okay?
You know what's interesting about that? I mean, just in thought, is that AIPAC will spend, the most money in a Democratic primary in history to get rid of a black man, a high school principal in New York. Mm-hmm. But the people on the right who are unbelievably, violently, brazenly anti-Semitic, but vote to fund Israel with weapons because they have this delusional evangelical belief that they need to protect the Holy Land. They leave them alone. And that is how you know that it's all full of...
Oh, the whole thing is dog shit.
Hey, I'm watching children claw and scratch for a drink of water and food in Gaza, and that seems inhumane.
Yeah.
You're anti-Semitic. Yeah. But meanwhile, the people who are actively anti-Semitic, leave them alone.
Let me just expand on this a little bit here. So the evangelical belief is that Jesus will not return until Israel rebuilds the temple in Jerusalem. Right. And so the reason that all of these far right, anti-Semitic bullshit fucking people in the United States support Israel isn't because they give two shits about the Jewish people that live there, but because the sooner Israel can rebuild the temple, the sooner Jesus comes back, and most of those Jewish people aren't going to evangelical heaven. They're going to hell because they don't recognize Jesus as the Messiah. But they need the they need the Jewish people to rebuild the temple in Israel, in Jerusalem, so that Jesus can come back and the rapture can happen. That's what this is. This has nothing to do with protecting Jewish people, Jewish sovereignty, Jewish culture, and it has everything to do with hurrying along their biblical end times that's going to exterminate everybody that's not Christian. That's their motive. That's their goal. So even the people in this country that are the majority of the far right in this country that are supporting Israel, they're supporting Israel to further their anti-Semitism. Like, exactly. That's it.
And then just to be like, hey, let's just attack liberal thought. Let's use to grow fascism in America. We will point at liberal thought and lines of logic on college campuses and call it anti-Semitism. Hey, if your eyes work, if your ears work, and you're noticing a G-side's going on, anti-Semite.
Yeah.
If you gathered a group to yell about it, which America was built on dissent on college. I mean, this is what America has been built on. This is what the civil rights movement was built on. And that is why they're trying to quash it. They already know, right? Probably high functioning autistic. Like, I see the world, all I see are patterns. And like, they're saying, here comes the 60s again. Gotta stamp that out.
Yep.
And Trump didn't come up with any of this himself, right? Very intelligent, conservative think tanks have thought this all out. And they're like, we've got to stop. We got to shut down thought on college campuses.
Shut it
immediately.
Shut it
we
down.
can't have a fascist takeover without that.
Yep. Yeah, no, there was Sphinx Egyptian down there talks about the Army Green Beret that was over providing security with the IDF, who just did that interview with the BBC talking about how he saw the IDF shooting at people trying to get food, and just that they were shooting, main tank rounds into crowds. And yeah, listen, I put up a video this morning of there's a video that was going out on the internet of IDF snipers that unalived a kid on camera, and they videotaped the whole thing, right? And I put up my video about that this morning. And I end it with, I over top of the whole thing, I put the text on. I don't say anything through the whole thing, but there's text on the video that says, every day we wake up and we have a choice to make. We can continue to be silent as an entire demographic of people are being exterminated from a parcel of land, or you can speak up against the atrocities. And then like the video plays a little bit more. I was like, and you have to ask yourself, what are you going to do today? History is watching, and it's not going to forget, right? History is watching where you're standing on this issue. Where you're standing right now, history is watching. And history will not forget what you did or didn't do at this moment in history.
Yeah, amen. Like, I could not, so passionate about this issue. And then not to bring up old wounds, but the 2024 election, Joe Biden negotiated a ceasefire, which it's very clear, right? Israel does nothing without the approval of the President of the United States and the Congress, right? Everything that has happened, right? Netanyahu going full fascist psycho, attacking every country around him, whilst to distract, in my belief, from what is happening in Gaza.
Yeah.
And Trump being like, but while you're at it, attack Iran because they were trying to unalive me. Remember, he's still mad about that. And he's like, 2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've never forgotten that the minute Joe Biden left office, no aid has entered Gaza, like in any massive form. And if you saw Trump speaking in Scotland yesterday, what he said was, I never got a thanks. We spent $60 million, which Biden did, but we spent $60 million for food in Gaza. No one thanked me.
Right.
Because that's what it's about.
Right. That's what it's always about. It's always about centering himself as this hero archetype, right? He's the big, strong leader that is doing all of these things. Because he's a fucking narcissist. He's a P3DO narcissist. Period. Sue me.
In my humble opinion, you have correctly
Yeah.
the issue. We could all have opinions. And the question is just, I just can't say it more. And I think the last time, it was been 2 weeks since we've done this, but I said, like, I never knew how the Holocaust happened. I did
Right.
not understand it, and now I get it.
Yeah.
It's apathy, and
I put up a video the other day of, oh God, I cannot remember the child's name right now. She was 5 months old. She just starved to death in Gaza. She's 5 months old. She died weighing less than she did when she was born. Okay. And people are still right now, still arguing that what's happening in Gaza isn't happening. Right now. The IDF is trying to convince people right now, the Israeli government is trying to convince people right now that there is no starvation happening in Gaza.
oh, my favorite, Hamas stole the food.
Hamas stole the food.
We have satellite video of all of it.
IDF
you guys
soldiers
drop
are recording
you drop
it.
scraps of food, and then people run for it, and then you pick them off.
IDF soldiers are recording it and posting it on the internet. Like this isn't conjecture. This isn't hyperbole.
Hearing can't. You don't have to be able to think.
No, you can literally watch it. You can literally watch it. You can watch it right now. This isn't some conspiracy make-believe bullshit. You can literally watch it.
On Sunday, Mike Johnson went on Meet the Press and said Hamas stole the food. Really? Because I watched all of it. I watched it. I watched the IDF cheering on the unalive, and then you're telling me that my eyes don't work. Mm-hmm. Hamas stole the food,
Yeah.
or you guys put scraps of food down in water, and when people ran for it, you unalived them all.
Yes. And look, because I know you idiots are out there. Oh, look at these Hamas supporters. I don't support Hamas either. I think the unaliving of innocent Jewish people is just as disgraceful and disgusting as the unaliving of innocent Palestinian people. But right now, the Palestinian people in Gaza and in the West Bank are being starved. They're being unalived. There is a genocide happening against it. Because here's the thing. I don't think that people realize that when you occupy a group of people, the occupiers by international law are responsible for the well-being of the occupied. They are responsible for them, right? They're responsible. And day in and day out, it's Israel, the government of Israel, that controls the border around Gaza. It is Israel that allows food and aid and water and electricity to flow into Gaza. And it has been the government of Israel that has prevented it. Period. Like, you can't argue it.
Well,
Those
and
are the
Robert, you
facts.
said, but Hamas is to blame, and you wrote
Right.
Hamas in all caps. If you want to explain to me how that's factually true, when a country is literally managing an open air prison, controls every single thing going in and out.
Yep.
If you were to explain to me how that's factually true, I also have a history degree, so I could tell you how Hamas came to power, which was by being funded by Israel, the United States,
Yep.
and the UK. Like, you have no idea what you're talking about, and you sound foolish. This is a pattern that happens over and over. We fund a group of people, then we're like, oh my God, they're out of control. Let's exterminate a bunch of brown people in the Middle East while we steal minerals and other resources out from under their feet. Like, you cannot be as dumb as you all pretend. You have to see the pattern. It's clear as day.
Yep.
Put them we funded them. We put them into power. We had sham elections inside an open air prison that we control every single thing that happens inside. That we're blaming people inside an open air prison. Like,
When was the last
you can't be this
election?
dumb.
When was the last election in Gaza? Does anybody even know?
Robert.
Does anybody even know? I bet they don't even know when the last election was. The last election in Gaza. Yeah. Kate got it. 2009. 2009 was the last election in Gaza.
Unbelievably fake. Like,
Yeah.
can we just, I mean, hey, who wants to be in charge of nothing?
Right.
Let's all vote to be in charge of absolutely nothing.
Yeah. The Israeli parliament just did a symbolic vote a couple of days ago to allow people to liberate the West Bank or whatever it was. Right? So, I mean, like, this isn't a joke. This isn't a conspiracy. This is literally, you're watching it happen. You're watching it happen live. Why do they want to get rid of TikTok? Why do they want to get rid of TikTok? Because we're seeing how the rest of the world is living. We see from people in Gaza what is happening. You're watching it on your phone. Can't have that. Can't control. State Department can't control the narrative if we can watch the narrative live. They can't control it.
So let's sell it to U.S. billionaires who will align with the fake narrative, right?
Yep.
That's why everyone should have a VPN. Like, if you get news from all around the world, every night I change my location of my VPN to a different country and I read their news.
Yeah.
Which, if you are just getting news in America, you have no idea what's going on.
It's wild. But this is what I'm saying. Like, okay, hold on. Laverne wanted to point out that Roberts is a good guy. His comment was snark.
Oh,
Just
okay,
checked
great.
his page.
I just was saying, like,
Yeah. Thank you for the clarification. Y'all leave Roberts alone. Leave Roberts alone.
bless his heart.
Appreciate
No,
you,
it's
Roberts.
just when, I get what you're saying now, but it's just when, if I have to hear one more time, like I said, Mike Johnson's like,
Oh, yeah.
Hamas stole the food. Well, since we watched the food be dropped and then everyone be unalived,
Yeah,
like, it's really
exactly.
hard to believe that Hamas has stole the food when we all watched it.
So what I'm to understand then is that all of those videos of settlers in the West Bank that are storming these aid trucks going into Gaza, cutting them and then throwing them onto the ground, that's Hamas doing that.
Well, or it's Hamas creating fake AI videos, because I've heard both. Like, you know what I mean? However you want to believe it. Yeah, it's like, don't believe your lying eyes.
Yeah. There were reports coming out that there was some flour that was sent into Gaza, but before the IDF allowed it to go through, they mixed in a bunch of sand into the flour. I have not been able to verify that, but that was told to me the other day by somebody that I trust.
For a second, I thought you were talking about THC, and I was like, God, that would be nice.
Yeah.
That is so disgusting. Like,
but this is what I'm saying, though. Like, you cannot turn a blind eye to this shit. There is a lot of terrible happening all the time, and it gets exhausting trying to focus on everything that you have to focus on. Release the Epstein files, the big stupid bill that's going to pull people off of their medical care. You know, these tax breaks for the rich, the tariffs that are going to cost everything, make everything go up in cost. On top of that, our continued funding of the fucking genocide in Gaza, this like precipice of war with Iran, the continued demonization of our allies and NATO compatriots. But there is so much all the time being bombarded at you that is on purpose. That is on purpose. Okay. If you get overwhelmed, the majority of people, I'm like this too. The majority of people that get overwhelmed are just going to be like, fuck it. I can't keep up with it, and will shut down. It happens. That's by design. If you shut down, you're compliant. This is where we need people to, it sucks. There is terrible happening every day and more of it every minute. And the terrible is not going to stop. What is going to happen if you tune out and turn it off is it will escalate and it will get worse. And again, I say history is watching and it will not forget what we do in this moment.
True. And take small breaks, but
Yes.
bear witness, and also I'm not saying watch graphic videos until you get physically ill and have to give up. I'm saying understand, right? Do research and understand what is happening. Bear witness to the atrocities that are happening.
There's people that are like, what can we do? That's a very broad question. And it feels like there's nothing that we can do to prevent it. And I'm going to say something that is harsh and it's going to hurt some people's feelings. There is nothing we can do to prevent it. What is happening right now? The wheels are already moving. That train is going down the tracks. We are not able to step in front of it and stop it. So what's the point then, right? So if we can't stop what's going on, then why do anything at all? Because we have to. You cannot sit back and let bad people do bad things without bringing attention to it. There is terrible, like I said, there is terrible shit happening every single day. And most of the terrible shit doesn't get reported on. Most of the people don't know the terrible shit that's happening. That's where people like Felice and myself and everybody watching this live right now, that's where you come in. You document, you share it, you report it, you put it out there. That's what we do. That's what we do.
And if it's
right?
only
You
stuck
build-
in the Wayback Machine on the,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like what I mean is, let's
You
say the
support
American
your-
government suppresses the internet, but
Yes.
still in the Wayback Machine, when
Yeah.
all of this is over, all of the dissent, all of the fighting will be documented.
What's something direct action that you can do? Start supporting your local communities that are organizing to care for communities that are under attack. Get involved with indivisible chapters in your cities. Organize communities in your town. Put up co-ops with other neighbors of yours saying, hey, I can do this. What can you do to help support people? I've got extra chickens. I'll donate some eggs, whatever it is. This is what we do. This is how you get through this. This is how we proceed forward to bringing us on out the other side of this, right? That's what we do, right? That's what we do. We organize, we mobilize, and we draw our communities close and we support one another. That's what we do. You don't have to be out in Washington, D.C. yelling at people like I do every now and then. You don't have to be up and alive like Felice and I do. You don't have to be putting out TikTok videos. You don't have to do all of that. What you can do is get to know your neighbors, organize a co-op with one another and saying, hey, things are getting difficult for people. Let's build a community amongst ourselves to support each other when the shit gets worse. Because I hate to just be this guy, but it is going to get worse. It just is. Prices are going to go up on everything because Donald Trump thinks tariffs are this fucking godsend. The argument, we've brought in hundreds of billions of dollars of tariff revenue. You haven't brought in shit. The American people have been taxed an additional hundreds of billions of dollars to pay for these import taxes. That's where that money is coming from. It's not the corporations. It's not foreign countries. It's you and me paying more for our shit.
But also, I just want, because numbers, I love numbers. I just want everyone to know, even though Trump says we're bringing in billions, it's not that much. And it will never outweigh borrowing 3.3 trillion. I think people have zero concept of what borrowing 3.3 trillion is. It doesn't matter if we pay 50% tariffs on anything. It will never make up for the financial disaster, so that rich people and corporations don't have to pay taxes. If you don't understand numbers, you might think like, oh yeah, some few tariffs on things coming into this country.
And here's the thing.
That's costing us money.
They are floating around this idea of like rebate checks and all this shit and whatnot because shit's getting expensive. Why is shit getting expensive? Here's what I'm saying. It's not a rebate check. It's literally just money that you have already paid that you're now going to get back. It's not additional income to help you. It's not a stimulus, right? It's not anything. It is literally, oh shit, they're paying more for this to these corporations to cover the tax. So let's just give it back to them. Right.
And so we should pay down the debt because they're fiscal conservative.
Yeah.
Like you blew out the deficit. We've never been in debt.
$20 out of your left pocket, putting it into your right pocket and being like, oh, I got paid $20.
And then they're going to steal $500 billion from Medicare behind your back. Like this, if only people could do math and understand how fucked up this situation really is. And I just want to say, I'm sorry I overtalk. Like, I just think this, like we all have unique skill sets in this situation. And I was like, no, that's not what I was going to say. I mean, I'm just going to say like, whatever your skill set is, because if I get a lot of messages from people and they're like, what do we do? Like, how do we do this? What I'm good at, I was raised by a Trump but smarter, right? So what I'm good at is understanding how to dig my heels in and drive them insane. Whatever you're good at, and we all have different skills. You need to figure out how you can drive people crazy, or you can support the effort to do such, because this might be a losing fight. Like, this might be the decline of the American empire. We might be entering American fascism, and there is no way to stop it. Like, 100% mathematically, this is late stage capitalism. Yeah. That's what these transfers of wealth are. But what we have to do is resist. Like, that is the point. You can't beat a narcissist. They're delusional. They believe they're God. Like, you can't beat them. You just drive them nuts and point out they're unbelievably insecure and delusional and a liar over and over and over.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, there's no quick fix. There's no, if we do this, everything will be fine. That was in November, right? That was November. All right. The quick fix to prevent, all this shit was in November. That ship has sailed. We're in the middle of the swamp now. We are in the muck, and there's no going back. You cannot turn around. The only thing that you can do is continue to push forward, and you push forward by leaning on your community and building your networks and supporting one another. That's how you push forward. That's how you push forward.
I heard this podcast by a former CIA agent say what you have to get in your mind is that you're 51% of the way anywhere. And so I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, because once you're 51% in the shit, it's just closer to keep going forward. The end is closer. There's no going back, was his point. You cannot go back. The end is closer than the beginning, right? And however this ends, we have to see it through to the end. That is the point. And my favorite thing, I was debating on Saturday, and this the guy who was like, oh, I'm gonna blow your mind. I don't agree with Trump on the Epstein files. Trump's an idiot. And it's he's but he was, and I know we've all heard this on TikTok, he was the lesser of two evils. If you believe that Kamala Harris was not brilliant, if you believe that women's brains don't work, so it's always better to choose a man, just don't say those stupid things. Just say, I'm an idiot. Just enter live and say,
own it.
I'm an idiot. Like, if you truly believe that driving us into financial ruin, that borrowing 3.3 trillion, that hastening the onset of fascism and a literal G-side in America, an immigrant G-side, the forming of concentration camps, huge transfers of wealth to the top of the economy was better than a light-skinned brown woman being president, you don't need to even just go into lives and say, "Hi, I'm an effing idiot." Like, you don't need to even try.
Own your dumb. Just own your
own the stupid. You are stupid. You are insecure. Just don't try anymore. You've ruined our country because you feel a little insecure because women are smarter than you.
Yes. That's it. I mean, that's all it is. So, again, what can you do?
Well, this is better than a woman being president. Yes.
So what can you do? You can support one another. You can build out your communities. You can, navigate these waters however you can. You get active however you can. Maybe your activism isn't going out and standing with a protest sign outside of your representative's office. That's fine. Activism could be, supporting the trans community in your neighborhoods. Activism could be donating eggs to food banks, or, working in a soup kitchen. Or activism could be literally getting to know your neighbors and organizing amongst yourselves to support one another when things are really start getting unaffordable. Like, that's what you do, right? That's activism. It doesn't have to be marching in the streets and, this aggressive, offensive type thing. There is a place in this for everybody. You just have to find yours. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Always better when a white man says, that's what I was trying to say. Like, you don't have to be, I was built for this. Like, I am about to take revenge on, I've been very angry since I was a child, and I'm about to unleash holy hell on everyone. But maybe that's not your thing.
Right. Yeah. Maybe that's not your thing. And that's okay. That, there is a place for everybody in this. You just have to find yours. It's not going to look the same. What I'm doing, you might not be able to do. What Felice is doing, you might not be able to do. If you can, great, do it. But if that's not what you can do, then don't do it. Then don't do it. Find what you can do.
And Andrea sent me $2 on Venmo and said, please tell people some Gazans go live on here and you can donate to them. You can definitely tell it's Gaza when they show you. They also look thin. One man I follow goes live from Gaza almost every day. And that's Andrea. Oh, wait, I don't know if I should say your last name. Sorry. But if you want to say hi in the comments, maybe people could follow and you can help people find those people. Yeah, that would be great. And also, Tammy, thank you for the $5. This was when Calvin was live, and I think he was calling me a dumb bee or an ugly bee. I don't remember what she said. Calvin can suck it. You are beautiful. Yes, Calvin's opinions of people are very awful. If I lost my mind every time a man insulted me on the internet, you guys should read my DMs. It's just insecure men insulting me.
I've been getting a lot of the scam bots lately in my DMs. Like a lot of the just created an account bot that's like, hey, love your stuff. Would you like me to pay your bills? And I'm like,
just meet me on WhatsApp. Like, it's like, okay.
What is it? Do you have Telegram?
Just got a text that I just did like 3 laughing faces, and I was like, yeah, be right there on Telegram so you can scam me.
Heading right over, bud.
Be right there.
God. I've been getting the TikTok community notification. We need you to respond hello to this or your account's going to be banned. I've started responding, and like this is just a fun little story to end out the live today. I've started responding with like hello, and then be like, oh, thank you for responding. We need you to send us your email, your address, and your phone number associated with your account, or you risk losing it. And I always send back like, oh, cool. Yeah. All right. Here's my email. It's yourmomsahoe@yourmomsahoe.com. And they always block me. And weirdly enough, my account never goes away, shockingly.
My favorite is I live in Phoenix and don't have a car. And they're like, you have unpaid tolls and you have to pay them right now through a credit card or you won't be able to drive anymore. And I was like, oh my God, that would be so bad. I can't imagine.
Oh yeah. I fuck with the tech scammers all the time. I get them all the time. They're like, hey, are we still meeting up today? And I was like, yeah, where are you?
At the airport trying to pick you up. Like, what's
literally outside your house? What are you doing? I was about to text you. I
bless their hearts. We've got I know, and now like the pervasive online scams are the least of our problems. Now that's like the joy in my life.
That's the joy in my life is fucking with a scammer that's trying to steal my money. It's literally
late stage capitalism is fucked up.
I'm telling you, that's the joy that I have right now. I look forward to another text coming in being like, hey, we still good for dinner? Like, oh fuck yes, finally.
Where are we gonna eat?
Where are we gonna eat at? We never locked down where we're meeting at. Where do you want to meet?
This is, I mean, late stage capitalism is wild. And everyone, just protect your peace. Take a break if you need to.
They will always try to get back on script. They'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, this is the wrong number. I was like, no, it's not. We literally talked yesterday.
Did you forget about me? Like, I love it. I can't. I love those people. Bless their hearts. And one day I want to end up in one of the Netflix documentaries about the scams. Yeah. That's my dream, is to end up in a documentary about some huge internet scam. Brilliant. We can all fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed that's something that happens.
Well, maybe we'll see each other next week, or maybe it'll be 2 weeks, depending on schedule. But it's a pleasure as always.
As of right now, I don't have anything going on. Wait, what is next week?
Exactly. Don't try to make sense of it.
I don't have anything going on next week, or the week after.
Do you have a calendar? I feel like I always imagine you making decisions by like every 30 seconds.
That's so. Look, the last time I went to DC, it was 100% just by like a very last minute fly out of the seat of my pants thing. Because Herb Conaway's office reached out to me and was like, hey, we'd like to talk with you a little bit. In person would be great and preferred, but we could do Zoom if we have to. And I was like, well, I think I can come down. And I asked my wife, I literally was sitting right here. And I just turned, I was like, hey, can I go to DC? And she was like, yeah. I was like, all right. So then I messaged him back, like, I'm going to get in the car and drive down. So.
Exactly. Just let me know when you are about to get in the car. Just tell me you're not going to be around, and then I'll tell people.
Yeah, there's no planning anything.
Exactly. Well, I know you can't plan anything in this type of environment. So until you hear otherwise, we'll be back next Tuesday. 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. If not, I'll tell you 5 minutes before it's changed.
All right, y'all. That's it for today. We did it. We did it. We made it.
Amen. So, keep on keeping on, Matt. So don't die.
We made it. All right. Y'all have a good day. Find a reason to smile.